The feeling that you're stuck in a loop is a signal from your body. That recurring argument, that familiar type of bad boss, that repeating pattern of disappointment, it's a broadcast. You are unknowingly sending out a frequency, tuned by an old wound, that attracts the very situations you're desperate to avoid. We're going to trace that signal back to its source and show you how to change the station. Because right now, your nervous system is replaying a song you never consciously chose, and the volume is getting louder. Your body holds a baseline hum, a default state of being. For some, it's a calm, steady resonance. For others, it's a low-grade buzz of anxiety, a constant state of readiness. This baseline is the frequency of your nervous system. Now, imagine a major life event hits you. A car accident, a sudden loss, a deep betrayal. That event is like striking a bell with a hammer. The initial impact is loud and sharp, but the real issue is the vibration that continues long after the hammer is gone. Trauma is the lingering resonance. It's the hum that gets stuck in the system. Your body physically retunes itself to the frequency of that crisis. The crisis ends. The frequency does not. This is the home of implicit memory. You have explicit memories, which are the stories you can tell about what happened. But implicit memory is stored in the body. It lives in the tension in your shoulders, the shallow pattern of your breath, the way your stomach clenches when a certain tone of voice is used. It's a memory without a narrative. It's a physical echo of a past event, playing on a loop. Your conscious mind moved on, filed the event away and passed. Your nervous system, however, took it as a new operating manual. It learned that the world contains that level of threat, and its primary job is to keep you from ever experiencing it again. It believes the threat is still active, and this core belief changes everything about how you perceive the world, which is a far more active process than you think. It's a system that can be hacked. The brain is a prediction machine. It uses past experiences to build a model of the world, and then it projects that model onto the future to guess what will happen next. This saves an immense amount of energy. You don't have to figure out how a door works every time you see one. You predict it will swing on hinges, and you act accordingly. This process is called predictive processing. Your brain receives sensory data from your eyes and ears, but it also receives constant data from inside your body, your heart rate, your gut tension, your breathing. This internal data is called interoception, and when your nervous system is stuck vibrating at the frequency of an old threat, that signal becomes the most important piece of data your brain receives. The brain gets this constant internal alarm bell and asks a simple question. If my body feels unsafe, what out there is causing it? It then scans the environment, actively looking for evidence to confirm the feeling. It starts to filter reality. A neutral expression on someone's face is interpreted as disappointment. An unreturned text message becomes proof of abandonment. A simple request from a manager sounds exactly like the criticism that came before a past failure. Your brain projects the old story onto the new situation to make the feeling make sense. You are living in a ghost story, written by your own nervous system, and you are the only one who can see the ghosts. The problem is, when you react to ghosts as if they are real, you teach other people to see them too. Think about someone whose early life was defined by unpredictability. A chaotic home, parents with volatile moods, their nervous system becomes tuned to the frequency of instability. As an adult, they crave stability, but their body is constantly broadcasting and listening for chaos. They find a partner who is calm and predictable. At first it feels good, but the quiet is unfamiliar. It's a frequency their system doesn't recognize. The old pattern, the one vibrating in their cells, is wired for drama. So their prediction machine gets to work. They start to scan for tiny signs of a shift, a slightly different tone of voice, a change in routine. Their brain flags these as evidence that the other shoe is about to drop. They start asking questions. Are you mad at me? Is something wrong? They might pick a small fight unconsciously, just to create a little static, to create an emotional spike that feels familiar. The calm partner is confused. They reassure. But the person tuned to chaos keeps probing, pushing, testing the calm because their nervous system is screaming that this quiet is a lie. Eventually, the calm partner gets worn down, they get frustrated, they react. And in that moment, the traumatized nervous system gets its confirmation. It says, "See, I knew it. I knew you were going to turn on me. Nobody is safe." The prophecy is fulfilled. The frequency of chaos has successfully recreated itself in a calm environment. The person feels the painful satisfaction of being right without ever realizing they wrote the script, cast the actors, and directed the entire play. And the loop gets stronger. But there is a way to see the code behind this simulation. The mechanism for this is rooted deep in the brainstem, in a nerve cluster that acts like a surveillance system for your body. This is the domain of the vagus nerve, the superhighway connecting your brain to your organs. It's constantly sending signals upward, reporting on the state of your inner world. Dr. Stephen Porges's polyvagal theory explains how this system works. He identified a process he calls neuroception. It's your nervous system's way of scanning for safety and danger, and it happens completely outside of your conscious awareness. It's faster than thought. It's feeling. Before you can even form a sentence about a situation, your body has already decided if you are safe, in danger, or facing a life-threatening event. These decisions trigger one of three states. The first is the ventral vagal state. This is your social engagement system. You feel safe, connected, calm. Your heart rate is regulated, your breathing is deep, you can make eye contact. This is the frequency of safety. The second state is the sympathetic nervous system. This is the familiar fight or flight. Your body detects a threat, and it floods with adrenaline and cortisol to prepare you to run or confront the danger. This is the frequency of mobilization. The third state is the dorsal vagal state. This is the oldest part of the system, a primal defense mechanism. When the threat is so overwhelming that you can't fight it, and you can't escape it, the body shuts down. It freezes, it numbs out. This is the frequency of collapse. Trauma is what happens when you get stuck in one of the two threat responses. You get locked into the frequency of mobilization or the frequency of collapse. A person stuck in a sympathetic state lives with chronic anxiety, agitation, and anger. They are always scanning for a fight. A person stuck in a dorsal state lives with depression, dissociation, and numbness. They are hiding from a world that feels overwhelmingly dangerous. Your conscious mind might be sitting at a desk trying to answer emails, but your body is still cowering in a corner or braced for an attack. You're trying to live in the present, but your biology is trapped in the past. And that biological state is what dictates your neuroception. It ensures you will find the danger you are wired to expect. The critical insight here is that you cannot talk your way out of this state. Because the part of you that's running the show doesn't understand language, it understands something else entirely. The part of your nervous system stuck in a threat response is pre-verbal. It's ancient. It understands vibration, rhythm, and sensation. Trying to use logic and positive affirmations to calm a dysregulated nervous system is like trying to reason with a guard dog that's barking at an intruder. The dog isn't listening to your words, it's responding to your tone, your posture, your heart rate. It's responding to your frequency. To change the pattern, you have to communicate with your body in its native language. This is the foundation of somatic therapies. It's about bypassing the thinking mind and going straight to the source of the signal. The physical sensations in the body. The process often starts with simply noticing, without judgment, without trying to fix anything. Where in your body do you feel that anxiety? Is it a tightness in your chest, a hollow feeling in your stomach, a buzzing in your hands? The simple act of bringing curious, non-judgmental attention to a physical sensation begins to change your relationship with it. You are observing the frequency instead of being consumed by it. You are introducing a new input into the system. Conscious awareness. This awareness acts like a circuit breaker. It interrupts the automatic, unconscious loop of sensation, prediction, reaction. From there, you can introduce new frequencies. Things like slow, rhythmic breathing send a powerful signal of safety up the vagus nerve to the brain. Specifically, extending your exhale to be longer than your inhale activates the parasympathetic, or rest and digest system. Your brainstem gets this signal and thinks, we wouldn't be breathing this slowly if we were being chased by a tiger. The threat must have passed. It's a bottom-up communication. You are using the body to tell the brain that you are safe, even when the brain is still predicting danger. You can also use gentle movement, shaking, or even applying pressure, like with a weighted blanket. These are all physical inputs that speak the language of the nervous system. You are giving it a new experience in the present moment, one that contradicts the old memory stored in your tissues. This is where the old frequency begins to lose its power. This process of updating the old memory is called memory reconsolidation. For a long time, scientists believed that long-term memories were fixed, like files stored in a cabinet. But we now know that every time you recall a memory, it becomes temporarily malleable. It's like opening a Word document. For a brief window of time, you can edit the file before you save it again. When you feel that old, familiar tightness in your chest, the somatic echo of a past hurt, the memory is active. It's open for editing. If, in that moment, you can introduce a new piece of information that contradicts the old conclusion, you can change the memory itself. The old memory might conclude, "When this feeling happens, I am in danger and I need to retreat." The contradiction is the new experience you provide. You notice the tightness, but you also notice that you are in a safe room. You slow your breathing. You are experiencing the old fear sensation and the new safety sensation at the same time. This is the crucial element. A mismatch. The brain holds both experiences and gets confused. The old prediction, "This feeling means danger," is now paired with a new reality, "This feeling is happening, but I am actually okay." When the memory is saved again, it gets saved with this new information attached. The original story is amended. It's like adding a new ending to an old chapter. With repetition, the old frequency begins to weaken. The association between the physical sensation and the conclusion of danger is disrupted. The tightness in your chest might still arise, but it no longer automatically triggers the full cascade of panic or shutdown. It becomes just a sensation, a vibration without a story attached. This is how you change the broadcast. You are retraining your neuroception. Your nervous system slowly learns that it can feel the echo of an old threat without being in present danger. It learns to distinguish between past and present. The filter on your reality begins to clear. You start to see neutral faces as neutral. You can let a text message be just a text message. The world stops feeling like a minefield because you have systematically, patiently diffused the minds inside your own body. This rewiring changes who you are drawn to and what situations feel normal. As your nervous system recalibrates to the frequency of safety, calm people and stable situations start to feel more comfortable. They feel like home. The chaotic, unpredictable dynamics that once felt so familiar now feel foreign and draining. You develop an internal compass that points toward genuine connection instead of repeated trauma. You stop recreating the past because your body has finally received the message that the past is over. The bell was struck once, a long time ago, but you have finally gently placed a hand on it. You have quieted the vibration. The most profound part of this process is the shift in identity. You realize that what you thought was your personality, being an anxious person, being a pessimistic person, being someone who always gets hurt, was actually a set of survival strategies adopted by a young nervous system trying to make sense of an overwhelming world. It was a frequency you were conditioned to hold. It was the armor you wore for a battle that ended years ago. And when you change the frequency, the armor falls away. You're not building a new you. You are simply allowing the person who was there before the armor to finally emerge. The ballot box of your body is open. Every conscious breath, every moment of grounding is a new vote cast for a future that feels different from the past. It's been open this whole time.